it's me, Kajaya, and tonight I'm going to do something that I've been wanting to do for a while. I'm going to just give, a short little interpretation of Selena Quintanilla's, hope I said her last name right, natal chart, and just, say what I see, things that made her a star. If you don't know who Selena is, look her up. She was an amazing singer, dancer of Tejano music, whose life tragically got cut short by a very evil woman of a biatch. So, um, here we go. I just gathered some stuff. Okay, so Selena was born April 16th, 1971 at 2:29 a.m. in Lake Jackson, Texas. She had a sun in Aries, moon in Sagittarius, Mercury in Taurus, Venus in Pisces, Mars in Capricorn, Jupiter in Sagittarius, Saturn in Taurus, Uranus in Libra, Neptune in Sagittarius, Pluto in Virgo. And her ascendant was in Aquarius, and her midheaven was in Scorpio. So, first thing that stands out to me in her chart on something that made her a star was, let me get my notes, my notes. She had her, now, like Madonna, Selena had an Aquarius rising. And, you know, that's one of the things I think made her a star was, her Aquarius rising, that ability to connect with people, a large group of people. And also, she broke down a lot of barriers in Tejano music, the type of music that she did, because they told her, only men are successful at this. Women don't do so well. But she rose to be the most successful Tejano musician, selling 60 million albums worldwide. Not just the most successful female, but the most successful Tejano musician ever. She's one of three females that sold 300,000 copies of an album in 1 week. One of three. So with that Aquarius rising, she broke down barriers. She beat the odds. She wanted to see herself as unique and as an innovative person. Another thing that stands out in Selena's chart, she had that Aquarius rising, and in her seventh house, one of the fame houses in astrology, she had her South Node in Leo. Now, the South Node are the things you bring from a previous life. So she was a natural showman. She was a natural performer. For her to get on stage was nothing. She could do it and she loved it. It was a part of her being. It's something that she brought from a previous life, and that's why she excelled at it very well in this life. So that's one of the things that stood out to me in her chart on why she became such a big star. Another thing in Selena's chart that stood out to me, if you ever heard her sing, heard her music, or seen her perform live, she had an amazing voice, a very beautiful voice, and I think that's because she had Mercury and Saturn in the sign of Taurus in her third house, which is the house of communication, which is, your speaking ability. She had it in Taurus, which is ruled by Venus. Ruled by Venus, and Taurus is one of the most musical signs. So singing and, having that amazing voice just really came natural to her. One of the things that I learned, that her father did not get her singing lessons until she got older. She had already made albums, already had, been touring and singing live, but her father didn't get her voice lessons until she crossed over into the U.S. charts and started making music in English. So I thought that was really, interesting, that she had such a talent that he didn't feel that she needed lessons to be taught to sing, because she had a natural gift for it. She had a natural, beautiful voice. So that's one of the things. With her Mercury in the third house, that's the original home of Mercury, it shows that she had this real big creative intelligence. Gemini rules creative intelligence, and Virgo rules the more analytical side of intelligence. But Mercury being in its own home shows that it'll perform a lot better In Taurus, Mercury seems to be sometimes a lot slower at taking in information and, letting it solidify in them. But with that Mercury in the third house, it would show that she had a very quick mind, a very intelligent mind. So that's one of the things that stood out to me. An aspect that stands out to me in Selena's chart is she has Uranus trine her ascendant, which is really cool because her ascendant is Aquarius and Uranus makes trine to it, which is really cool. And that just tells me that she was able to express herself creative wise without holding back. She wasn't afraid or she didn't overthink it. She just let her creativity flow, and that she wanted a deep understanding of people, and that she also liked to live in the moment. If she was talking to you, she was there with you. She wasn't worrying about, oh, I have to be there in 10 minutes or I messed up a dance step on stage. No, she was very much in the moment. And I think that's one of the things that made her a fantastic performer, because if you ever watch her on YouTube, when she has this presence about her. When she's on that stage singing and dancing, she's not thinking about, the lyrics or the dance step. She's right there with you having a damn good time. So I think it's one of the things that's very visible that you can see inside of her. Selena had Venus in the first house. If you've ever seen her, she was fucking beautiful. And in the sign of Pisces, which is in its sign of exaltation. So, if there are things in a chart that just screams creative soul or life, your life focus is to be creative, it's Venus in the first house. It makes you very charming, very beautiful. People are attracted to you. You're not, you don't have that standoffish vibe like a Scorpio rising would have. No, people gravitate towards you. You have a magnetism towards you. And if it's in Pisces, which hers was, she also probably was a very big humanitarian. With that Aquarius rising and also that Venus in the first house. I'd imagine so. I didn't know her personally. I'm just looking at the chart. Selena had her moon in Sagittarius, which made her very happy-go-lucky, and it was in the 11th house. And I see that as she had this big emotional need to really contribute something to the world, and that was her music and her message, and that was very important to her. Her art was an extension of herself that she put out into the world. And I also see this moon in the 11th house position as, giving too much of herself to people, either to her friends or family or to her fans. At one end, she wants to be there for everyone and to contribute something to the world, and on the other end, sometimes it's not that healthy to just be there emotionally for people all the time. So that's something I also see in her chart. One of the cool things in Selena's chart that I like is she had a grand trine in Earth. She had a grand trine in Earth, and a grand trine in Earth to me shows that she wanted to fight for material and financial stability. In her short, as her time as a singer, she basically amassed a let me check, $25 million fortune in such a short period of her singing career. That's a lot of fucking money in this much time. So, she was very business minded, very, very. So, I hope you enjoyed my little interpretation on Selena Quintanilla's natal chart. One of her songs came on my phone earlier, and I was like, you know what? I think I'm gonna do her chart. So I just, pulled it up, made some notes, and fired off. There's so much more I could tell you guys about her chart. I'll post it, of course, on here somewhere. And I hope you enjoyed the video. If you don't know who she is, kill yourself. She was awesome. She was amazing. A humanitarian, an artist, a fashion designer. She has an amazing chart. She really does. Like I said, there's so much more I could tell you, but I'm getting hungry. And I want to cook something. So, yeah, like this video, subscribe to my channel, give me a thumbs up, and will you do anything for Selena's? Thank you guys for watching. Bye.